Hey everybody, welcome back to another Ashes comparison video. Today we're taking a look at 3 Phoenixborn because they got rid of Jericho Kill and she's the new Phoenixborn. And we're going to cover that in another video. So we have an uneven amount. So we're just going to do the last 3 in this one. We're going to start with Rimea Careworn, then we're going to go to James Endersight and finish with Fiona Mercywind. And then you'll have all of the changes that were made deck-wise to Ashes. So, let's start with Rimea Careworn. Her main card remained the same. So we're just going to go right into the deck changes, and she had a lot of changes. So, the old one on the right, new one on the left. So, the old one, main action, cost 3 basic. The cost is basically the same on both, with the old one had Dauntless. If this unit receives damage in battle, remove 1 exhaustion token from this unit at the end of that battle. And inviolable. This unit cannot be targeted by a spell or have alteration spells attached to it. Its stats were attack 3, life 3, and recovery 0. Then it was, the new one has Invoke Ancestors. When this unit comes into play, place 2 Ancestor Spirit Conjurations onto your battlefield. Attack of 1, life of 2, recover of 0. So a little streamlined there. The next thing we have changed is Summon the Ancestor Spirit. So the old one had a cost of purple class and basic to even put into your ready spell. The new one just has a main action. The old one, main action with exhaustion, discard 1 card from your hand or move 1 die from your active pool to your exhausted pool. If you do, draw 1 card or place an Ancestor Spirit Conjuration onto your battlefield. The new one, exhaustion with green power. Place an Ancestor Spirit Conjuration onto your battlefield. Next one. Augury. So the old one used to just cost green class. The new one costs green class and a basic. The old one, when this spell comes into play, place 3 status tokens on it. Discard this card when it no longer has any status tokens on it. For a side action, exhaustion and 1 basic. Search your draw pile for 1 card with a magic play cost of X. Reveal it and place it into your hand. Shuffle your draw pile. Remove 1 status token from the spell. X is the number of status tokens on this spell, and bound that cannot be discarded when you meditate. Sorry about that. The new one. When this spell comes into play, place 3 status tokens on it. As a side action with an exhaustion. Search your draw pile. You may reveal 1 card with a magic play of cost X. Place it into your hand if you do remove a status token. So it looks like they just got rid of the bound on this one. So, yeah. And cleared up some of the wording. Next we have changed is Memorialize. Both are still ready spells. One is now, the old one is a main action, the new one's a side action, both costing the same. The old one, after an opponent uses an ability or dice power to place a die into your exhausted pool, you may place 1 exhaustion token on this spell to select 1 die in that opponent's active pool and place it in that opponent's exhausted pool. After an opponent uses an ability or dice power to deal damage to a unit or Phoenixborn you control, you may place 1 exhaustion token on this spell to deal 1 damage to that opponent's Phoenixborn. Whew! That's a lot to read and take in. Let's hope on the new one they've streamlined it. After an ally you control is destroyed, place 1 status token on this spell if it has no status tokens on it, and for a side action with an exhaustion, remove 1 status token from this spell to search your discard pile for a spell and place that spell on the bottom of your draw pile. Doesn't do the same thing anymore, but... Oh, and it's been renamed. It used to be called Hexbane. Now it's Memorialized. Dark Presence is the next change we have here. Both still a main action and a ready spell. Cost is different. The old one was green class, now it's purple class. The old one. All units you control now have the following ability, the Fog of War. When this unit deals damage to an opponent's Phoenixborn, that opponent places the top card of their draw pile on the bottom of their draw pile. Then that opponent discards the top card of their draw pile. If it's focused, main action or side action, with a basic and an exhaustion, place 1 exhaustion token on an unexhausted unit you control. That unit deals 1 damage to a Phoenixborn. Focus 2, you may remove 1 token from that unit. The new one is side action with exhaustion. Choose a target unit you control to gain the following ability for the remainder of the turn. Terrifying. It can't be blocked or guarded by units with an attack value of 1 or less. And then focus 1. Then reduce the attack value of a target unit an opponent controls by 1 for the remainder of the turn. The next one we have is Hollow, which is an ally. The old one had a parallel cost of green or purple class. The new one has green or purple power. The old one, Possession. When this unit leaves play as a result of a spell, ability, or dice power you control, you may spend 1 green power to remove all exhaustion tokens from a target unit control. And then Poltergeist. After a player has declared attackers, you may spend 1 purple power to remove this card from the game. If you do, reduce the attack value of a target unit by 2 for the remainder of the turn. With the stats Attack 2, Life 1, Recover 0. The new one, Hex 2. When this unit comes into play, you may lower 2 dice in a target opponent's active pool 1 level. With Attack 2, Life 1, Recover 1. It's a bit more streamlined. The last change to the deck is the Battle Seer. The old one had... they both have the same cost. I'm sorry about that. The old one, Battle Trance. When this unit is declared as an attacker or leaves play, you may draw 1 card with an attack of 3, a life of 3, and a recover of 1. The new one has Quick Strike. While this unit is attacking, it deals its damage before units in battle with it. Alert, do not place exhaustion tokens on this unit as a result of its countering, with an attack of 3, a life of 4, and a recover of 2. The rest of the changes done to this deck are in the conjurations. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is the Ancestor Spirit. So the old one had Distract with a side action and exhaustion. Place 1 exhaustion token on a target unit with a Pheromel. After this unit becomes exhausted, remove it from the game. Attack of 0, life of 1, recover of 0. The new one has Guidance. When this unit comes into play, you may draw 1 card. If you do, place 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your draw pile. With an attack of 2, a life of 1, and a recover of 0. We also have the Pale Steed Mount. The old one had, they both have Unit Guard, but they also have, the old one has Unsummon, and Dismount Rider, which is, after this unit leaves play, choose a face-down ally under this unit and dismount that ally. I think mainly here we just have the changing of the wording in Dismount, which is when it's destroyed. Place any allies you own underneath this unit into your hand. Then we have Spectral Charger Mount. So the old one, Battle Advantage. When this unit is in battle, it deals its damage before the units without Battle Advantage. Also has the Unsummoned and Old Dismount Rider wording, with an attack of 3, life of 2, recover of 0. The new one has Quick Strike, which is unit deals its damage before units in battle with it, with the new dismount wording, with an attack of 4, life of 2, and recover of 0. The last one we have is the Nightmare Mount. So this is Terrifying 2 on the old one. Can't be guarded by units with 2 or less. Same thing here. Unsummon is gone, with Dismount Rider having the old wording with an attack of 4, life of 3, recover of 0. Now it's been downgraded to Terrifying 1 with the new wording on Dismount, attack of 4, life of 4, recover 0. And those are the changes that were made to Rimea Careworn. Join me in a few seconds as we take a look at James Endersight. Alright, it's time to take a look at James Endersight. His card did not change, but let's take a look at his deck. Most of the stuff for him that was changed was all done within the deck. So, on Vengeance is the first one changed. Used to be a reaction spell. Now it's an action spell with a cost of X basic. The reaction spell was, you may play this spell after you declare and attack a Phoenixborn main action. Destroy X units you control. If you do, X target units you currently control gain the following abilities for the remainder of the turn. Overkill X. When this unit destroys a unit an opponent controls by attacking, deal X damage to that opponent's Phoenixborn. And Spite X. When this unit deals damage to a Phoenixborn by attacking, you may deal X additional damage to that Phoenixborn. The new one is a side action with X basic. Destroy X units you control. If you do, add 1 to the attack value of X targets you control for the remainder of the turn. Then we have Summon Fallen. The old one had a black class to put it into play. The new one you just put into play. The old one had main action with basic. Discard an ally from your hand, or remove an ally in your discard pile from the game. If you do, place a fallen conjuration onto your battlefield. You may repeat this effect one additional time. If you focused it, when a fallen conjuration you control would receive damage, you may place one exhaustion token on this spell. If you do, prevent that damage. The new one is after an ally you control is destroyed, place one status token on this spell. Then main action with black class. Remove up to one status token from each copy of Summoned Fallen in control. Place one Fallen Conjuration onto your battlefield for each status token removed. This one is next, Chant of Sacrifice. The old one had a cost main action of black and white class. After a player has declared blockers, you may place one exhaustion token on this spell to destroy a unit you control. If you do, for the remainder of this turn, a target unit you control adds 2 to its attack value or gains one of the following abilities. Battle Advantage. When this unit is in battle, it deals damage before other units without Battle Advantage deals their damage. And Armored 2, basically preventing 2 damage. The new one just has black class with side action, exhaustion, destroy a unit you control. The new one had a name change. The next one, had a name change. It's called Revival Pact now. It used to be called Law of Repentance. Law of Repentance was a side action with white class. When this spell comes into play, if you control an ally, remove 2 wound tokens from your Phoenixborn. When a player would place 1 or more dice into their active pool from their exhausted pool, deal 1 damage to that player's Phoenixborn. And then also had Bound and Fleeting. Bound, which says you can't discard it for meditating, and Fleeting you can discard at the end of the round. And then the new one, Revival Pact, same cost, and it's an action spell this time, which is just search your discard pile for up to 3 allies and shuffle them into your draw pile. Next one we have here is the Grave Knight. The cost is the same. The old one had Battle Advantage, which is basically the old Quick Strike. And then Smite 1. After this unit destroys a unit by attacking or countering, you may remove 1 wound token from your Phoenixborn. Stats of Attack 3, Life 3, and Recover 2. And then the new one has Threatening. This unit must be blocked if able, with Overkill 1. After this unit destroys a unit an opponent controls by attacking, deal 1 damage to that opponent's target Phoenixborn. Attack 4, Life 3, Recover 2. Then we have the Immortal Commander. Different cost, and so the old one had a cost of 2 white class dice. Exert was a side action. Place 1 exhaustion token on this unit. Command 1. While this unit has 1 or more exhaustion tokens on it, the attack value of all other units you control is increased by 1. With Soulfire 2. When this card would leave your discard pile, you may spend 1 lion to deal 2 damage to a target unit. With Attack 2, Life 2, Recover 1. The new one's a bit more simplified. Just costs a lion and a side action to put out. With Command 1, Exhaust. Add 1 to the attack value of all other units you are currently control for the remainder of this turn. Attack 0, Life 3, Recover 1. Next, we have the Reaping Angel, which I always felt had a it's a Devil May Cry feel to it. They both retain the same cost. The old one had Offer. When this unit comes into play, you may search your draw pile for an ally and place it into your discard pile. If you do, remove a number of wound tokens equal to that ally's recover value from your Phoenixborn, shuffle your draw pile, and then had Sustain 1. When a unit you control would receive damage, you may place 1 wound token on this unit. If you do, prevent 1 damage to that unit. Attack 1, Life 2, Recover 3. The new one had Offer. When this unit comes into play, search your draw pile, you may reveal an ally and place it into your discard pile. Shuffle your draw pile. Then you may search your discard pile for an ally and remove it from the game to remove 1 wound token from a target Phoenixborn. And then the last card that's been changed in his deck, Reclaim Soul, which had a cost change. So the old one had 2 black class. Choose a target unit. That unit deals damage equal to its attack value to itself. The owner of that unit selects a number of dice in their exhaust pool up to that unit's recover value, rerolls them, and places them into their active pool. The new one has just 1 black class. Destroy unit you control to remove 2 wound tokens from your Phoenixborn. And those are the changes made to James Endersight. Join me in a few seconds to look at Fiona Mercywind's deck. Alright, so here we have the last deck comparison we're going to do. This is Fiona Mercywind. The pack was called the Protector of Argaia. She had no changes to her Phoenixborn. The first change we have is Mind Maze. Both had the same cost as alteration spells. The old one, this unit cannot attack, block, or guard. When this spell would leave play, discard this unit unless its controlling player spends 1 basic and has fleeting. Discard at the end of round. The new one, this unit cannot attack, block, or guard, but has escape as a main and side action with an exhaust and discarding a card out of hand. Discard this card, lost, discard this card at the end of the round. That is Mind Maze. The next we have Summon Majestic Titan. The old one was basically just put it out there. The new one you have to put a basic to put it out there. The old ability. When this spell, ability, or dice power would target a Majestic Titan you control, you may discard this card to cancel the effects of that spell, ability, or dice power. And then, main action, exhaustion, pink power, class, or green class and 2 basic. Place a Majestic Titan conjuration onto your battlefield. If it's focused, opponents cannot attach an alteration spell to a Majestic Titan you control. The new ability is just main action, exhaustion, pink class, green class, and basic. Place a Majestic Titan conjuration onto the battlefield. Then we have Summon the Night Song Cricket. Both still just an action to put it out there. With the caveat in the old one, if you do not meditate this turn, after this card is discarded from your hand, you may spend 1 basic to place it onto your spell board. With the ability of major action, exhaustion, green class, and basic, place a Night Song Cricket conjuration onto your battlefield. If you focus it, you may, as an additional cost, discard 1 card from your hand to place 1 exhaustion token on an unexhausted copy of this spell that you control. If you do, place an additional Night Song Cricket conjuration onto your battlefield. The new one, main action, exhaustion, green class, 1 basic. Place a Night Song Cricket conjuration onto your battlefield. If you focus it, if you spent any green power to activate this spell, you may search target player's discard pile for 1 card and remove it from the game. Then we have Summon the Mind Fog Owl. Same cost, which is just an action. On the old one, during a player's turn, when you would draw 1 or more cards, you may draw 1 fewer card. If you do, place this card onto your spell board. With the main action, exhaustion, pink class, and 1 basic, place a Mind Fog Owl conjuration onto your battlefield. Focused, you may change the activation cost of the spell to exhaustion, pink power, and discard. Focus 2, if you cannot place a Mind Fog Owl, choose a target opponent to discard 1 card of their choice from their hand. The new one is main action, exhaustion, pink class, basic, place a Mind Fog Owl conjuration onto your battlefield. Focus 1, if you spent any pink power to activate the spell, you may choose 1 pink power spent and resolve its dice power without paying the cost. Then we have the Essence Druid. So the old one had a cost of 2 green class and a basic. Spell Recall, when this unit comes into play, search your discard pile for a ready spell and place it into your hand. And Calm the Beast, while this unit is in battle, reduce the attack value of all units in battle with this unit that you do not control by 4, with an attack of 1, a life of 4, and a recover of 1. The new one has green power, pink class, and basic to pay for it. Spell Recall, when this unit comes into play, you may search your discard pile for a ready spell and place it in your hand. With Tame 2, while this unit is in battle, the attack value of units in battle with it is reduced by 2. Attack value of 2, life of 4, recover of 2. We also have New Ideas. Was changed. Same thing, a parallel cost, and then a cost of green class. The old one was draw 2 cards. If you did not meditate this turn, after this card is discarded, you unplayed from your hand, you may draw a card. And then the new one is choose one card in your hand and place it on the bottom of your draw pile. If you do, draw 3 cards. Now this next one, the old one was called Cognitive Dissonance, and then the new one is called Return to Soil. The old one was a reaction spell, the new one is an action spell. The old one, you may play this spell after an opponent draws 1 or more cards or places 1 or more cards into their hand. That opponent discards 3 cards off the top of their draw pile. Then remove up to 3 spells in each player's discard pile from the game. The new one, same cost. Deal 1 damage to a target unit. If that destroys the unit, after it is destroyed, that target player who controlled it must discard 1 card off the top of their draw pile. Then you may search the target player's discard pile for 2 cards and remove them from the game. And there has been one conjuration that's been changed, and that's the Majestic Titan. Alright. The old one had Gigantic 2, can't be blocked, with a life value of 2 or less. And then Befuddling Blow. When this unit deals damage to a unit, you may force that unit to deal damage equal to its attack value to a target unit of your choice other than itself. And that's attack 2, life 6, recover 3. The new one has Gigantic 1, and then Renew, which is a main action and exhaustion. Discard a copy of Summon Majestic Titan from your spellboard to remove all exhaustion tokens and discard all alteration spells from this unit with an attack of 3, life of 4, and recover of 0. So that's Fiona Mercywind's changes. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And if you've been watching these deck comparisons, thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you enjoy Ashes and all the future content that's going to be coming out for it. Thank you, Plaid Hat, for bringing this fantastic game back. And like I said, give us a like, subscribe. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's my goal. And we'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.